So you can find the sheet, practice sheet, by going on this. Okay, like, so if you see this, okay, and you go to g20maths.com. In maths, you can go to resources, okay, and in downloads you will find this, okay, differential calculus, chapter wise pyqs, and in those pyqs, if you open it, okay, in those pyqs you will have the pyqs for this also, okay. Mm, yes, mean value theorem, Rolle's theorem, and your Lagrange and Cauchy, and it has questions from Taylor's MVT also, which we have not done yet, but most of the question belong to the Rolle's and Lagrange mean value theorem, okay. So you can download this sheet and practice. I will do some of the questions from this, okay. So let's start. Can you see it?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with the question number 2. The first question belongs to Taylor series that we have not done. Okay. Just read the question. The question is saying, justify by using Rolle's theorem or mean value theorem. You can use any of it, any of the theorem, to show that there is no number k for which the equation this has two distinct solution in the interval. That is, there exists no number k, that whatever be the value of k, two roots cannot exist, okay, between -1 to 1. Okay, so how to proceed? Okay, so let us assume that two roots exist. Let alpha beta be two roots of fx is equals to x cube minus 3x plus k, where alpha beta belong to the interval, okay, -1 to 1, -1 to 1, okay. So first, fx is continuous in -1 to 1, right? Fx is continuous in don't take -1 to 1, take alpha to beta. Fx is continuous on alpha to beta because fx is a polynomial function. A polynomial function is always continuous and differentiable. So fx is also differentiable, is differentiable in alpha to beta. And the third is that f of alpha is equals to f of beta is equals to 0, right? So all three conditions for Rolle's theorem have been satisfied here, okay. So there exists a c belonging to the open interval alpha beta such that f dash c equals to 0. What is f dash c? F dash c, if you find, it will be 3c square minus 3. This should be equal to 0. From this you will get c equal to plus minus 1, but c does not belong to alpha beta. Why? Because alpha beta lie in -1 to 1 interval, right? -1 to 1 interval. So this cannot be like this will be at max -1 to 1 if alpha and beta are -1 and 1 respectively. But c is plus minus 1 and this is open bracket, so 1 and -1 are not included. So we have reached a contradiction. Even though all the condition of Rolle's theorem are satisfied, still we are not able to find a c between alpha and beta such that f dash c equals 0. So this is a contradiction, which means this first and second condition cannot is always true. So the only problem with the condition will be this condition, right? So therefore f alpha equal to f beta cannot be 0. F alpha equal to f beta cannot, the f alpha and f beta cannot be equal. They cannot be 0, and it means that our assumption that two roots exist for fx is false. Two roots exist for fx is false. Any doubt in this? Any doubt in this? Okay. Now come to the second question. Third question. Read. Given a function ab to real numbers is continuous in ab and differentiable in the closed interval ab, where a is greater than 0, because a and b are positive and non-zero, then show that for a c belonging to ab, fb minus fa equal to c times f dash c upon log b by a. Very easy question. Very, very easy question. This is direct application of the Cauchy's theorem. Okay. So question number 3, we have to prove that there exists a C such that FB minus FA is equals to C F dash C log B by A. Okay. So because F is given continuous and differentiable. Okay. Take Gx is equals to log X. Okay. So because A and B are positive. Okay. So log X will be defined in this interval, and log X will be differentiable and continuous, right? Continuous, we know that this is differentiable continuous function. So therefore, both the f function and g function are continuous in AB and differentiable in open interval AB. In fact, they are differentiable in closed interval, but we are taking open interval, right? And also because okay, C is, and then if we use our Cauchy's method, okay, Cauchy's mean value theorem, so FB minus FA upon GB minus GA is equals to F dash C upon G dash C for some C, okay, for some C belonging to AB, right? For some C belonging to AB. So now, if you solve it further, okay, if you solve it further, so FB minus FA upon log B minus log A is equals to F dash C upon what is G dash C? 1 by C, right? So FB minus FA is equals to C times F dash C into log B minus A is log B by A. So this is the thing that we needed to prove, and we have proved it, right? So this was the third question, right? Now let's start from what. So we have done this question also, right? We have done this question. Prove that any between any two roots in our previous session, two roots of the e to the power x sin x equal to 1, there is at least one root of e to the power x or cos x plus 1, right? Okay. Let's do this question. Question is, prove that if these are real numbers and this is equal to 0, then there exists at least one number x between 0 and 1 such that a naught x to the power n plus a1 x to the power n minus 1, okay, and they are all this equals to 0. Okay, so the key here is using this q and defining a function which has differentiable this, that is f dash of x should be equal to this. So what is the fx? You can easily find the fx from here, right? Just integrate this and you will get the fx. So fx will be a naught x to the power n plus 1, okay, a naught x to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1 plus a1 x to the power n upon n and so on plus an x. This is a polynomial function. Therefore, it will be differentiable and continuous. So the first two conditions, condition number 1 and condition number 2 for Rolle's theorem is satisfied. Now check the condition number 3. What is f of 0? Because all terms contain x, so f of 0 will be 0. What is f of 1? F of 1 equals to a naught upon n plus 1, a1 upon n, a2 upon n minus 1, so on up to an minus 1 upon 2 plus an. And from this condition, right, from this condition we know that this is 0, so f1 also equals to 0, right? So the third condition is satisfied, that f0 is equals to f1. That was the condition, that is f0 is equals to f1. Now then, according to the Rolle's theorem, f dash c will be 0 for some c belonging to 0 to 1, right? And what is f dash c? Okay, so our f dash c is this only, right? This only. This is our f dash c, right? This is our f dash x, then f dot c to the power n plus a1 c to the power n minus 1, okay, plus up to an equals to 0 for some c belonging to 0 to 1. That is, it has a root between 0 and 1, and that was the condition, that there exists at least one real number x between 0 and 1, right? That's all we needed to prove in the question. So these were very, very easy questions. Okay, very, very easy questions in the exam. Okay. So you can see questions are not, and this question is repeated. You can see it was asked in 2018 as well as 2014. Okay, 2018 as well as 2014, right? So we can do this. Okay, now let's see this question. That 2017 IFOS, using the mean value theorem, show that if fx is constant, then f dash x equal to 0. So let's use the mean value theorem. So fx equals to k. So using the k, constant function is continuous and differentiable. Okay, continuous and differentiable. Now using the condition fb minus fa upon b minus a is equals to f dash c, right? Now k minus k upon b minus a is equals to f dash c, that is 0, is equals to f dash c. So for all c you will get 0. Okay, for all c between a and b you will get 0. You will always get 0. Similarly, if fx is decreasing function in ab, if f dash x exists and it is less than 0 everywhere, this you have to show. That is, you have to show that fb is greater than fa. fb is greater than fa if b is greater than a. This you have to show. How can you show? Using the Lagrange's mean value theorem again. So I have fb minus fa is equals to f dash c. Okay, f dash c into b minus a. Now take, if I take b is greater than a, then b minus a is positive, and f dash is negative. So this will be negative. This if this is fb minus fa is negative, it means sorry, this it means that f of b is less than f of a. It means that function is decreasing. Similarly, if I take b is less than a, then situation will change. So you can easily prove this, that it is decreasing function using the Lagrange's mean value theorem. You just have to apply the formula and some logic, and you can do this. Okay. Okay. Let's do this question, a little tough, but still not very tough. So fx is a twice differentiable function such that fa equal to fb equal to 0, and fc equals to greater than is positive for all for a c between a, for all c between a and b. Okay, so if you see this condition, this reminds me of Rolle's theorem's third condition, and this is a differentiable integrable differentiable function. It has to be continuous, right? It is. So fx satisfy all three conditions, all three conditions of Rolle's, right? So there exists some c belonging to AB such that f dash c equals to 0, and it is given that fc is greater than 0 for all c between a and b. So this should be remembered. Okay, for a, prove that there exists at least one point such that f double dash x. Okay, let alpha beta be roots of f dash x, because f dash x is also as you can see, f dash x is also uh, f dash x is also because this function is twice differentiable, it will be differentiable and continuous, because every differentiable function is continuous. So it also satisfies the conditions of LMBT. Okay, because we LMBT, and because f of alpha equal to f of beta equals to 0. Okay. Oh, why I'm taking this? Just take a and b, and we can try that. Then apply. Okay. So f dash of a minus f dash of b minus f dash of a upon b minus a is equals to f double dash some epsilon, right? Some epsilon, eta 1, eta 2. It will not help me their boundary values. Okay, let me do it fairly. Okay, let me do it fairly. So what is the question? Question says we are given a and b, okay, such that fa equal to fb equals to 0 and fc is positive for c between a and b, and f is twice differentiable. Twice differentiable. It means it will be continuous and differentiable in the given interval for both of the values, right? Okay. So what can I do? I can take two intervals. Okay, let's take two intervals. Okay, let's take and use LMBT. Okay. Using LMBT in AC and CB. Okay, used to. So yes. Okay. So from this, that FC minus FA upon C minus A is equals to some F dash of some alpha, right? Some alpha, and now we know that f of A is 0. So f of C upon C minus A is equals to f dash alpha. FC is positive, we know that, and C minus A is also positive, we know this, right? So this is positive. This is the first thing. Now, second case, f of b minus f of c upon b minus c is equals to some f dash of beta, right? Using Bean-Willis theorem, we can say this. So this will be 0, fb is 0, so it will be minus of fc upon b minus c is equals to f dash beta, which is equals to this will be your negative value. Okay, this will be a negative value. This will be a negative value. Okay, this will be a negative value. Okay, now let's do this. Now I have 2 points, right? I have alpha, beta. Okay, now I will again use LMBT. I will again use LMBT, and then I can write. Okay, so f dash of beta minus f dash of alpha upon beta minus alpha is equals to some f dash f double dash eta, right? Where eta belongs to your alpha and beta, right? Now putting the values, okay, putting the values of f dash al beta. What was the f dash beta? Minus of fc upon b minus c, minus of fc upon c minus a, okay, upon c minus a upon beta minus alpha is equals to f double dash eta. I think this will work. Okay, so from this you can take minus of fc upon beta minus alpha common, and then you will be left with 1 by b minus c plus 1 by c minus a. This will be minus of fc by beta minus alpha into c minus a plus b minus c by b minus c, c minus a. This will be your minus of fc upon beta minus alpha into your b minus a upon b minus c, c minus a. If you see, b minus a is positive, c minus a is positive, b minus c is positive, beta minus alpha is positive, okay, and fc is positive. So this whole term will be a negative, which is equals to f double dash eta. So therefore f double dash eta is less than 0. Okay, this was the proof for this. Okay, so there are some questions like this, not some, like, and these kind of questions come in the exam where you have to like think a little. Okay, so first it's better to do this in rough first, not to waste space, and then go to it. Okay, so this was the question. Let's see the question again. A twice differentiable function fx is such that fa equal to 0, fb equal to 0, and fc is greater than 0 for a for c between a and b. Prove that there is at least one point eta such that a and eta belong between a and b, such that f double dash eta is less than 0. So that was all about the sign scheme. Okay, so what we did is we used LMBT twice. Okay, that is using LMBT in two intervals, a to c and c to b. Okay, so here alpha should lie between a to c and beta should lie between c to b. Writing this is important because in the end we have taken beta minus alpha as positive, right? So that is only possible by this. We can see that alpha is less than c and beta is greater than c. So it means that beta minus alpha will be greater than 0. Okay, only then we can conclude that. So this was a good question. There are many questions like this in the test. I'm not solving all the questions because otherwise you guys will not be able to practice much. Practice this from this sheet and post the question in the group when in like whatever question you faced out. Okay, we have compiled the solutions also, but it is better to do it yourself. Okay, any doubt, any question that you guys have? Okay, can you solve this question for me? This is a very easy question. Direct application of mean value theorem. Okay, so try these questions. Okay, you can leave the Taylor's theorem for now. You can do all the other questions. You can do this question. Very good question. This was a very good question. Okay, very good question. This was a very good question. Then this was a very easy question. This is a very easy question. You can do it using increasing decreasing also. You can do it using Lagrange theorem also, Lagrange mean value theorem also. Okay, this question is very important. Very important, has been asked in exam many times. This is again very easy question, very direct question. This is again very easy question. This was easy question. It looks scary, but that was easy. Okay, this was, I think, the by far the easiest question. You can do it in multiple ways. Okay, but you can do it using your Lagrange mean value theorem. That would be easier. Okay, so what will be your, so you take any x, then you will write that okay, f0, and then you have to show that how it is asking you how far f2 can be, largest possible value of f2. So let's take that f2 minus f0 upon 2 minus 0 is equals to f dash x, some for some x between 0 to 2, right? For some x between 0 to 2. Now what is f2? I don't know, but I know that f2 plus 3, because f0 is minus 3, so minus minus plus, upon 2 is equals to f dash x. So f2 is equals to 2 f dash x minus 3, right? I'm doing it here. Okay, 2 f dash x minus 3. So 2 f dash x minus 3. And we know that f dash x is less than equal to 5. Less than equal to 5 given here. So from this whole value will be less than or equals to 2 into 5 minus 3. That is less than equal to 7. Okay, less than equal to 7. So that was the whole way of doing it. Another way that I did it was like this. You can do it. So I took a function gx is equals to fx minus 5x. Okay. Okay. Then I got g dash x is equals to f dash x minus 5, which is less than equal to 0. Therefore, gx is decreasing function. Okay, gx is decreasing function, right? Decreasing function. So if gx is decreasing function, it means that g of 2 will be less than g of 0, less than equal to, because this is equality. So from f of 2 minus 5 into 2, because its function is 5x, 5 into 2 is less than equal to f of 0 minus 5 into 0. So from here, f of 2 minus 10 is less than equal to minus 3 minus 0. Okay, and from here you can get f2 is less than equals to 10 minus 3, that is f2 is less than equal to 7, that we proved using the Lagrange's mean value theorem also. So that therefore max value of f2 is equals to 7. So that was the question. Very easy question. You can do it in multiple ways. Okay, increasing, decreasing. You can do it using directly integrating also. But I will not suggest direct integration, because that is a very bad method. That is a very bad method to do it. But like the straightforward way would be using your Lagrange's mean value theorem. No innovation required. Just apply the formula and you can do it. Okay. So I have left the difficult questions for you. Okay. I only solved this one question a little tough. I have solved this, but for all the questions, like I told, that this is some tough question. Like this was 2018's question. This question was tough, that I have left for you. Then this question almost has 3 zeros in the interval, show that f double dash has at least 1 0 in the interval. This is also not very tough. It is a moderate question. Okay, 3 zeros in the interval. This then show that f double dash has at least 1 0 in the interval. This is also very easy question. Not very easy. It is a moderate question. It's not that tough. Okay, the first and last question belong to your Taylor's theorem. So I'm not, we have not covered it. That's why I'm not discussed it. But most of the question we have discussed, right? And I've left few questions for you to practice from this, and also practice from the exercise. That is the last exercise of the second exercise of chapter 5 2, chapter 6 2. or 5 or chapter 5 2. Just get chapter 6 2. Function of single variable part 2. So do questions from this. If you guys have any doubt, please ask. Okay, then have a good night.
Thank you, sir.